Welcome back to the Post Up Podcast, episode 26. And this week, not much has really happened, but a lot of players have beefed with each other or with the officials. It's been a bad week for NBA refs or officials. But before any of that, Philadelphia, Owen, how's your week been?
All I gotta say is we're back. We're back.
Well,
Started with a good win against the Grizzlies, where Furkan Korkmaz came out of nowhere and dropped 34 points, a career high. Made 7 3-point shots, and it was lovely to watch. I enjoyed every second of it. And then against the Bulls at home,
he did it again. He went back to back.
31 points. It was so fun because as soon as he came into the game, he just launched a long three and made it. And then against the Clippers, to be honest, I thought we were going to get manhandled. I didn't trust us. But we had a flashback performance from Embiid. He performed like he did last season. We haven't seen too much of it from Embiid this season, but also Ben. What a game. He played so many minutes, and he locked up Kawhi and PG.
Easy.
And he dropped a triple-double.
I mean, locking up PG this season isn't that difficult.
He had another bad game as well against the Celtics.
Yeah, 14 points.
Poor from him, but the Clippers game was a wild one where it was really competitive all game long, and then Marcus Morris does Marcus Morris things and picks out a fight, this time with Embiid. There's a couple times they've had a scrap, but Marcus Morris, he's so unlikable. Like, he tried to lock Embiid's arm, Embiid obviously tried to get out of it, and Morris just pushed him. Why? I don't know, he's very hormonal.
Yeah, him and Pat Bev on a team is a dangerous thing.
That's right. When the Clippers traded for him, everyone was saying, "Oh, this is it. They're going to win a championship now." But Marcus Morris isn't the player you want on a championship team, because he's too much of a wild card, like Boogie
or Russ.
Like Russ, that game against the Sixers. He's the reason they lost, because he just lost his head. He got too emotional, and then he just started bricking so many shots because he was too emotional. He's an idiot.
Yeah, he's the type of player as well that would try and take the game himself and throw up the shots when he's nowhere near the best player on the team.
After the fight with Embiid, he demanded the ball on the next possession, took it to the rim, and Embiid blocked him.
Of course he did. That's a very Russ play as well.
Yeah, I'm sure Russ did it against Embiid as well. Yeah, he definitely did it against Embiid.
But from a week where you lost 4 games in a row to a week winning 3 in a row, I mean, it must be nice.
And I don't know if I mentioned it last week, but I wrote it on my notes for the last week podcast. I'm pretty sure I forgot to mention it, but this is from last week before it happened. But I said, so I made a comparison between Horford and Jimmy Butler, where with Butler last year during the regular season, he was hated by Philadelphia fans because he would never try defensively and he would never shoot. So similar to Horford, where he would just be poor. Then come playoff time, Jimmy saved his reputation, where I think the same is going to happen with Horford. And now he's coming off the bench. I don't know if you watched the game.
No.
But Horford coming off the bench is perfect. It's what all the fans, all the smart fans have been asking for. Like, Horford needs to come off the bench. And straight away, you could see Embiid was more comfortable, Simmons was more comfortable. When Horford came into the game, far more comfortable, because there was just more space to operate.
Why would fans of Marcus Smart want Embiid to come want Horford to come off the bench?
Fans of Marcus Smart?
You said smart fans.
Nice one, but done.
Thank you.
But yeah, seeing Horford come off the bench, they started with Korkmaz, which I don't think is the right choice. I don't think he can't be a starter. But
34 and 31 points says differently. Oh, was it the late Clipper game?
Clippers he started and dropped 0 points. But Glenn Robinson, we acquired him at the deadline. He's the perfect player to slot into that open space because he doesn't demand the ball. He's excellent at cutting, a fantastic shooter, and a great defender. Honestly, he started the second half against the Clippers, scored a couple of quick points, and I think he's perfect off the bench, and then perfect in the starting lineup rather. And our bench is looking good now with Horford, Alec Burks, Korkmaz, Matisse. We've got a good team.
Yeah, Glenn Robinson's one of those players that he can do it all, not to a high level,
just to a good
level.
But
like he can shoot threes. He's decent in the mid range. He's got a vertical
he won a dunk contest.
He's got all you need. Decent defender. He's like all good things.
He's only been with us for 2 games, but so far I like what I've seen. And same with Alec Burks. those two are going to be some clutch acquisitions. And I don't want to overreact to just 3 games and 2, like 1 against the Bulls. But I think we're back on for the title.
Oh, no, you're not.
But like
Lakers in 5.
This is only if Joel continues this play.
Won't happen.
That's what I'm concerned about. Because he was unreal against the Clippers. And he was happy again. He was I don't know the word, but he was egging on the fans. That's it. He was egging on the fans. Apparently, Bleacher Report said he was getting booed. I didn't hear any boos. So I think they're just trying to push a specific narrative. But we all love Embiid. He's back.
Well, saying you love Embiid, last week you said you'd rather trade him than Ben Simmons.
I love this Embiid. I don't like the fat, lazy one who doesn't try.
Okay.
I like the energetic one.
But the rumours for this week are that the Sixers are more likely to sack Brett Brown than trading Joel or Ben Simmons.
Yeah, I saw one of the reports that came out that said the only way they would trade Embiid or Simmons is after they fire Brett Brown. If they bring in another coach and it still doesn't work out, then they would trade him. Which I feel like that would be a mistake because if you go around the leagues, even Stan Van Gundy said on the broadcast at the Clippers game, Brett Brown's one of the best coaches in the league. Greg Popovich, who is the best of all time, said Brett Brown's one of the best in the league. And
second to Nick Nurse.
Yeah, one of the best in the league. But I've had this feeling for a long time. The second we fire Brett Brown, that's going to be the start of the downfall for this team. Because at the end of the day, he's basically Ben's uncle. Like, he grew up with him. He's known him since he was a child. Embiid, last season when we lost in the playoffs, came out and supported Brett Brown saying, we can't sack him. Like, he's our guy. So I just can't think of anyone who could come in and do what Brett has done. Because you see all the 76er fans after every single loss is fire Brett Brown. But who do you want to replace him with? And they can never answer with anything good. It's like Jason Kidd. What's he going to do? Like, the second the Bucks got rid of him, that's when Giannis became God tier. So it's just weird that we can't afford to sack him because that's the end of us. Rip Philadelphia.
Yeah.
He understands the city.
Brett leaves, it's the process point 2.
Possibly. Like, the worst case...
You go back to winning 10 games a season.
The worst case scenario now. And honestly, with our owners, it probably could happen because they're a bunch of idiots. If we fire Embiid... fire Embiid?
I don't think that's possible. If we have to trade Embiid.
If we fire Brett Brown and trade Embiid or Simmons, and then the other one picks up a long-term injury and then we back down in the lottery, and then we get some awful coach like David Yeager, and then we're done. Then we're done. But still being locked into Horford's contract. Let's hope it doesn't happen.
I say you sack Brett Brown and get one of the Van Gundy brothers in.
Please don't do that.
And then trade for Melo.
Do you want us to be awful?
Yes.
Yeah, thought
yes.
so.
It'd be much more entertaining for me. Well, last week, like we said, you had a awful 4-game losing streak Philly run, and I had a lovely 3-game winning streak OKC run. Didn't continue. It continued for 1 game. We beat the Pistons I wasn't happy with the Cleveland game last time and the Pistons game this week because it just seemed like after such a great run, we kind of were taking the games for granted, and we played Cleveland, Detroit, 2 teams that we probably should have just won by about 20, and we beat them within small margins. And it seemed like the big players weren't up and putting up 25. It seemed like we were we've got loads of wins now, we can coast.
But I feel like this is a problem every team faces, every good team faces. But
after that we played Boston and I thought they'll batter us, and we played really well. The boys all came together, played like we had been playing in our excellent run, and we lost by 1 thanks to a lovely clutch Paul shot in the last minute, which didn't mean anything. But it would have if Eshier didn't drop the ball.
Oh yeah, Marcus Smart stole it from him.
Yeah. To be fair, he said after that, he said, I'm learning every year, I tried a move, and I got beat by one of the best defenders in the league. So, it's fair enough, Max Smart's a good defender. He's obviously difficult for someone like SGA, a young player.
Why didn't Chris Paul have the ball in that situation?
We probably should. I think we were kind of on a bit of a fast break. I think Chris Paul gave him the ball, and he dropped it. So we'll blame Chris Paul for that one. Not leading his kids into war properly.
Speaking of Chris Paul.
Should have taken it. Then after the Boston game, went on to lose to the Spurs again. Luckily this time, Aldridge didn't shoot 92% like he did in the last game we played against them. But I don't know what went wrong. I mean,
Who scored for the Spurs then? I'm assuming everyone scored, but who is the main scorer?
Yeah, Aldridge and Murray put up 25, Paddy Mills got up 20, Derek White got 17, and Chris Paul had 31 for us, but nobody else really turned up. Gallinari had 15, Schroeder had 14, SJ had 17. And it was kind of like the same with like the Pistons and Cleveland. It seemed like we took our good form for granted and we weren't turning up against the teams we probably should have been. But then we faced the Pelicans, who are in better form than they have been this season, obviously because Zion's returning, and I thought we'd probably lose that. Didn't realise Ingram wasn't playing, and we flew home to victory after Zion scored 8 in a row in the fourth quarter. But then Clutch Paul and the boys come out. Well, not really Clutch Paul. Gallinari put up 29 on the game, season high. I don't remember him putting up any higher. I don't remember him putting up 30 this season, but a very good game. And Steven Adams hit probably the greatest 3-point shot you'll ever see. Steven Adams, a better 3-point shooter than Ben Simmons.
Yes. Probably.
So if you haven't seen it, it's the halftime buzzer where he gets the ball and it basically looks like he just throws a lob up, or like it's
just a hook shot.
Yeah, a hook shot in the post, and he doesn't jump. He just kind of throws it, and then it goes in, and then he hits a little shimmy like he's Steph Curry. But yeah, Ben Simmons never hit a 3 against an NBA team. The Pelicans are a good NBA team.
To be fair,
the Pelicans are better than an
in the warm-ups against the Clippers, Simmons hit 8 in a row in practice.
Practice?
Yeah.
I could hit 8 in a row in practice.
I've seen you break 8 in a row.
No, that's not true. That is not true. My garden's not big enough for a 3-point line. That is not true.
Oh, one thing we forgot to mention, Paul George. He got fined for crying to the refs again.
Oh yeah, it's
all game long he was complaining at the refs, claiming for fouls.
Yeah, he was saying about the Clippers had 8 more fouls than
but like,
Philly, saying the refs had an agenda.
It was a feisty game. Both teams went at it, and the refs were like letting us play. Honestly, PG was just getting locked up by Josh Richardson.
That's embarrassing.
He's a fantastic defender, but he's about 3 or 4 inches shorter.
And PG a lot smaller in like weight.
PG should be able to like bully him, but no, he was getting locked up. He was blocking him. Then Ben was onto him, and again Ben, he should be in the running for Defensive Player of the Year. He's insane defensively.
He's no Marcus Smart.
That's an insult to Ben. Like, Ben is literally watching him. I've never seen anyone better.
I probably should watch more Philly games.
If you love defense, you need to watch Ben Simmons because
I do love defense.
God, it's insane.
But some people might think I would like to watch PG crumble at the Clippers, but I have no hate towards PG. I love PG. He's a great player. He put up the best year of his career high in every single stat line for OKC, and now for the Clippers he looks awful. We said at the beginning of the season he said he had new shoulders. I'm not sure if it's his shoulders that are making him awful, but he got injured again last night with a tight calf or wherever it was, something with the legs and muscle pulling, and it's sad to see him like drop off a cliff.
I'm starting to not like him.
Literally, he didn't fall off a literal cliff. It's more like performance-wise, it's gone a lot further down.
I've started not to like him because he feels like he's
You've not liked him
since
he hit the game winner against Philly.
But no, like the way he complains to the ref is as if he's LeBron James or Luka Doncic. He's not.
Luka who?
Doncic. He doesn't deserve to get the superstar calls because he's nowhere near a superstar. He's a good player.
He was a great player last year.
Maybe on a bad team.
Shut your face.
No, like I just don't get it because Ben so many times he's getting hacked in the game and the refs didn't call nothing.
Yeah, so but he's like 7 foot, 300-pound point guard.
He can't shoot.
Yeah, but when he's laying up, he can make it.
Well, like Zion gets all the calls because he's the next superstar, but with Ben, he gets nothing off the refs. So I don't know why PG is complaining because he could have been fouled out early on in the game because he was hacking everyone. But yeah, he deserved to get fined. I think it was 35 grand in the end.
Yeah, 35 grand fine.
He got injured, he shot horribly, and he got fined 35 grand. I love you for PG.
Poor PG. Talking about other teams winning and losing, the Raptors' 15-game win streak is over, and it came down to the Brooklyn Nets of all teams, a team that you wouldn't expect to break a good team's record, and
To be fair, Kyrie wasn't playing.
Kyrie wasn't playing, so it was all Karis LeVert and Spencer Dinwiddie, and Dinwiddie... to be fair, Dinwiddie didn't actually put up, like, massive points to be, like... It was a poor game from the Raptors. It was more of a poor game from the Raptors, where it was, like, an excellent performance from the Nets.
Maybe, like you said, against the Pistons and Cavs, maybe the Raptors, who beat Brooklyn a couple of days ago, maybe they took it for granted.
Yeah. What I found really funny about that game was, though, the night of the day of the game, I saw, like, a page on Instagram don't remember which page it was, put, like, the next 9 fixtures for Toronto, saying how long is this run going to go on for, and they lost the next game, so hopefully they've deleted that, because all the comments were just like, Brooklyn.
One thing, which, again, we forgot to mention with Philadelphia, is multiple players of ours telling our fans to shut the up.
Oh.
So it started with Al Horford, of all people, against the Grizzlies.
Big Al.
He hit a 3-pointer and he shushed the crowd. He followed that game up against the Bulls by dropping 0 points. But in that game against the Bulls, Embiid had 28 points. It was still a bad game for him. But he put up points, and twice, on 2 occasions, he shushed the crowd and told them to shut up. And then the whole drama with Jimmy Butler on the Instagram post. Basically, kind of recruiting him to Miami.
Ah, yes, Jimmy Butler's back to his old tricks again.
Yeah. And the one thing I found interesting about the whole thing is Embiid used the same quote that Jimmy used right before he left Minnesota. So maybe that connection. And then Embiid put up an apology post in a way. But guess what game he used it from? The Miami game. Eric Spoelstra's in the background of the photo.
He's kind of just like watching over him, like.
Yeah. So I think Embiid loves chaos. He thrives in it. So I think he was just doing it.
Where's my Jimmy Butler jersey?
Just keep that away from me. But Embiid loves chaos. He always performs best in the midst of chaos. So maybe he just wanted to create some chaos. And it worked because he was back to his best. What's
the likelihood of, in the summer, Embiid getting traded to the Heat?
I don't think we'll trade him to the Heat because they're a rival.
What if they give you Bam Adebayo?
He's going to have to give us more.
Yeah,
Miami Heat fans.
Bam is the main
I
pick.
know why you hate Miami Heat fans. They are idiots. I was looking on their subreddit and doing all mock trades saying...
Shout out to all Miami Heat fans.
They're saying, we'll trade Kendrick Nunn on the first round pick. So we get to have Bam, Hero, Embiid, Jimmy Butler, Dragic. It's not going to happen. If you're going to have Embiid, you're going to have to give us Bam, maybe Hero, Dragic, Duncan Robinson, Kendrick Nunn. You're going to have to give us all your role players. So I don't know what they're thinking. They're quite foolish, really. But yeah, he's signed with us for the next 5 years, so he's not going to go anywhere if he continues to perform at this high level.
A bit foolish. I don't understand sarcasm. Miami Heat fans,
yeah.
Not all of them, but the ones that are like prominent on Reddit.
They were always on my radar for being idiots when we played them in the playoffs, where Embiid was wearing his mask because Markel Fultz broke his face.
Well done, Markel.
And Justice Winslow, I think it was, he hit the mask off Embiid's face and then stamped on and broke it. And Miami Heat fans were saying, he did it accidentally. No, he didn't. He looked at the mask and just
It's a very difficult thing to do accidentally.
Yeah, so they're foolish. Maybe it's just being Miami with all the cocaine. No, who knows?
Jesus Christ. Allegedly. Waiters doesn't play for Heat anymore.
Does he do cocaine?
No, but he's allegedly No, he's not the dealer because he said he got the edibles off somebody else.
Definitely James Johnson or something. That's what they treated him.
It was Jimmy Butler, wasn't it? It was Jimmy Butler. It was nobody. Allegedly. The Golden State Warriors on the trade deadline traded D'Lo for Andrew Wiggins. At the time, we were a bit indifferent on the trade. Well, I thought it was a good idea to get rid of D'Lo, but Wiggins is a bit of an anomaly of a player. You don't know what Wiggins you're going to get. Are you going to get brick Wiggins, or are you going to get some sort of capable defender who can also put up a good amount of points for you? But I said if it all comes together, that's a championship winning team next year for Golden State.
Yeah. Initially, I didn't like the fact they got Wiggins, but I watched his debut against the Lakers, and he was scoring offensively. He was guarding LeBron, and he was doing a good job. So
a 35-year-old LeBron,
but it's still LeBron. But it gave me a bit of hope for Wiggins, saying, this might be a good place for him, because right now he's the man on the team. He's gonna get, he can get all the shots he wants. He's put up 24, 18, and 27, Yeah, they lost every single game, but that's going to happen.
Yeah, he's the only person on that team.
But he's had 2 games now where he's been shot over 64% from the field, and from 3, he's shooting well as well. So it's kind of it gives me hope. And you look at the Warriors and this season with all, they've turned players from awful players into NBA caliber players. Like, you look at Marquise Chris, he was out of the NBA.
I thought they waived him.
And they signed him back.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and against the Lakers, he was incredible, and he's looking like an actual NBA player. Eric Pascal, a 2nd-round pick.
He's the next Draymond Green. I said it when they drafted him.
And they turned him into a 15-point per game scorer.
He's the next Draymond Green, just not the assists.
They've proven that they can take talent and make him even better. And Steve Kerr's a fantastic coach.
He is.
So I feel this is a great situation for Wiggins.
I can't wait to watch Golden State next season.
I can't wait to watch him against
Curry,
Philly in a couple of weeks.
Wiggins,
I hope it works out.
I like the boys.
But going back to that trade with Minnesota, it makes no sense. Why would you trade Robert Covington? If you're going to trade for D'Lo and maybe trade for Devin Booker one day to bring the friendship all together, you need a player like Robert Covington. So I just don't get why they did that trade.
Because Minnesota are stupid. We don't care about Minnesota. We're concentrating on Golden State. A good team, a good franchise, smart people.
It's 2 conflicting trades. Like, you're going to go all in with D'Lo, but then you trade your best defender. I just don't understand the thinking or logic behind it.
Nobody understands what Minnesota do.
But that's why they're irrelevant.
Yeah, nobody understands anything Minnesota do. That's why they're where they are. That's why they lost about 15 games in a row. And that's why Cat cries every other game that, the winning's going to stop. No. The losing's going to stop. The winning's going to start, and they never win. Rubbish team. I feel bad for Cat, though. I do like him. He's a good player.
I don't like him.
I feel like he could be a really good centre.
I feel the moment he was put in a headlock by Simmons, that was the end of it for him.
He's got the potential. He'll never make this potential, but he's got Boogie Cousins domination potential.
Oh yeah, he just doesn't have a heart.
No, he's never been to prison. That's Towns' problem. Never been to prison. He's no Boogie.
Soft.
Yeah. So after talking about the Philly players and beef with the fans, Dame has had a very interesting week. It started with losing to Utah because a very obvious goaltending call wasn't given, so he was squaring up to referees. And then he got injured, and he's out of the All-Star game. But back to the goaltending. What an awful call.
I was scrolling through Instagram and I saw Dame, the caption, Dame heated after missed call.
Yeah.
So, let's have a look. Let's see how bad it was.
Dame was very angry with a multiple social media posts.
A blurry video on an Instagram, so you can't even see it properly. And I could tell that was a goaltend.
Yeah, it was.
How did the refs? Surely there was a ref on the baseline. What was he doing? It's
just you can very obviously see when the basketball hits the backboard.
Yeah.
And then hits go bit. You can even hear it.
Yeah. What are the refs doing? And did you see the refs put out a statement saying, we were wrong, and Dame said, who cares?
That's
doesn't mean anything.
My favourite bit is when officials know they're wrong and then do the statement after, because nobody cares about the statement. Everybody knows they're wrong. They don't have to make the statement, they do and just get roasted for every time. But my qualm...
Nice word.
No, thank you. I don't know if I've used it right. With Dame is... He was crying only for the day after the game about, we're in the push for the playoffs and you've cost us in this excellent game. Last season, they did very well, got to the playoffs, got to the conference finals, did excellently, and then everybody was like, they'll be in the 2nd seed this year, and then all their players gave up. If they played how they...
Just like I predicted.
Yeah. If they played how they should have been playing, they wouldn't be in a playoff race right now. They'd be in the top 4, in a top 4 seed. But... none of them played early season, they all gave up. Lillard dropped big points, but none of the team was playing. All the team gave up, and because they've been rubbish, it took Melo to be signed on that team for them to get good. And trust me, I had Melo for 2 years. It took us to get rid of Melo to become good. So I get that it was a bad call, but for Dame to be like, we're in a playoff run, you've cost us. You shouldn't even be in the race for the playoffs. You should be where Dallas were at the beginning of the season before Doncic got injured. You should be comfortably. If they played like they did last season, like in the playoffs and towards the end of the season, they should be above the Clippers.
Do you reckon?
In the 3rd seed. They got the potential to be that high.
They should be in that tier.
Yeah, but they're not because they're trash. But I do. Dame's a good player though.
I think it shows how important role players are. 'Cause they lost all the important role players and they've collapsed.
I just didn't like his argument because he was whining about the call about because he's going to block them trying to get into the playoffs when they should be comfortably in the playoffs, and it's because of them as a team why they're not in the playoffs, not the refs' fault for this one game.
I mean,
I did enjoy
one game is the refs' fault for.
Yeah, it is the refs' fault.
But like, the refs aren't the sole reason they're not in the playoffs.
It shouldn't have that big of a result on the playoff picture. I did like that Donovan Mitchell and Gobert were laughing and Mike Conley were laughing as they come off the court of that game. Big funny, well done Utah, could win. But yeah, so after that, in the next game, Dame has pulled his groin and is out of the All-Star break. And
he's still performing though. He's still singing.
You will be singing.
Priorities.
And he's got an advert with Pusha T, which is nice. Pusha T's got a nice little song. So love to see it. Shout out to Pusha T, great man. Splicing music, getting music involved. But with Dame's absence, the league and Devin Booker himself have been crying. Well, not the league actually.
Not the league.
Devin
Booker's been crying.
Fans and Devin Booker have been Suns fans and Devin Booker have been crying because Booker hasn't been picked for the All-Star break. Well, now he's in. He's in the All-Star game and he's in the 3-point contest. And nobody really cares, but Booker, I mean, it's kind of a backhanded compliment that you're in because some guys got injured. I think Booker should have turned it down. Like, no. Put Gallinari in there instead.
But like, you showed me or told me earlier, I think it was Charles Barkley who said, should players on bad teams be in the All-Star game? Now, I can understand
he
both
said
viewpoints.
If a team goes like 75-5, which doesn't add up actually, I don't know why he said 75-5. That doesn't add up.
No, it doesn't add up.
No, he's not the smart.
Charles Barkley.
He's not the smartest. Yeah. He said if a team goes 75-5, and a player puts up 30 points a game, they don't deserve to be in the All-Star game, which doesn't make any sense because you don't play that many games up until the All-Star break, and it doesn't make sense because that's less games than the whole season is.
I get like rewarding the good players on good teams, like Chris Middleton, but like on Rudy Gobert. But if I'm watching an All-Star game, I don't want to watch Rudy Gobert rebound the ball. I want to watch Devin Booker shoot or Trae Young. And
like, look at it this way: say if Steph didn't get injured, and Golden State would probably have won more games than they currently have had. But say they didn't, and some of their role players, obviously because their role players would have taken less shots, they wouldn't have put the points they have. And sometimes Steph has bad nights. I mean, usually in playoff finals, in the conference finals, and is usually when he has the bad nights. But say Steph Curry was averaging 30 points per game and was on this Golden State team with the same record. There's not a chance that every single pundit wouldn't have put him in. Like,
he'd be a starter.
Yeah,
like Trae Young was a starter
easily. Like, yeah, exactly. Trae Young. I didn't even need to use Steph Curry. Trae Young is right there.
Trae Young is right there.
With the worst record in the East.
Yeah, like, I just don't. I get the two viewpoints, but like, who wants to watch Rudy Gobert in the All-Star game? It's like in Embiid's rookie season, he missed out on the All-Star game, and then I think it was like Kevin Love got injured, so everyone thought, oh, Embiid's going to be a replacement, and they chose Al Horford instead.
Big Al.
And everyone was like, well, why do I want to watch Al Horford set screens? Because that's all he does.
Yeah, it's like watching players that don't shoot threes, don't have flashy post moves. It's like we don't want these guys in there.
Even like Kyle Lowry to some extent, he's not a flashy player. He just likes fighting people.
Yeah, it'll make it fun though. You'll probably do some like funny stuff. It's like if Draymond Green was in there, you'd do stupid things like to like get the crowd going. I think.
Like,
you need like personalities.
Like Domantas Sabonis, he's got no personality.
You leave Sabonis alone. I'm not having any.
He doesn't do anything
I'm not
flashy.
having Sabonis slander.
But then again, it's in the East, and there's not many options in the East.
There's no options in the East. Yeah. It was him or Mike Scott.
He's in the West. Oh wait, no, Mike Scott.
What do you mean?
I think of Mike Conley.
Scott plays for your team.
I was thinking, wait, why did you say Mike Conley for? Mike Scott. But then again, he's no bitch, so I'd rather see him.
Yeah, that is true. He did fight people in the off season.
Yeah. He fight Philadelphia fans actually.
Yeah, but not basketball fans.
No,
NFL fans. But talking about the All-Star break, there was is it a very good question? I suppose it's a very good question. It's a good question. I don't know what's happened to your spreadsheet. It's a good question. It was on the NBA subreddit, and they said, is there a player in this current NBA who could win the skills contest, the 3-point contest, and the dunk contest?
I thought it was a really interesting question, because we thought about it, and it was quite tough. I thought it would be easy to come up with someone, but for me, the most obvious one is Zach LaVine.
Yeah, first, like, straight away, we both said Zach LaVine, and then it was kind of like, what other players could?
Yeah.
And it was kind of a difficult thing, but there are more. So I think Zach LaVine has the best chance, because, I mean, he shoots like 40% from 3-point.
Yeah.
I mean, 2016 dunk contest shows that he's one of the best dunkers of all time.
He used to play point guard, so he should be able to pass.
Yeah, and even if he doesn't pass, like you said last week, do the Embiid trick where you just throw all the balls. Just get all the balls. You should just pick up the rack and just throw the rack at the thing, and then just quickly run on.
But the one other player which I think has almost as good of a shot as Zach LaVine is Jamal Murray.
Ooh, I would.
Because he's shooting he doesn't shoot much, but he shoots almost 40% from 3, maybe even more than that now. We've seen his dunks. He's an incredible dunker.
He can dunk pretty well.
He's one of the best passers in the league.
He is.
So I think at some point, if he can get an even more reliable shot, he'll win it one day.
I would one-up your Ja Morant with last season's Paul George.
Last
season's Paul George.
Yeah, this one he'd miss every shot.
Yeah. I mean, last season, he did some big dunks last season. He shot, I don't have to keep saying it, career high in every start line. So, like, his 3-point shot was amazing last season. And, like, yeah, I think Paul George would give Zach LaVine a run for his money in all 3 of those.
But I think another one, if you go off last season, Kevin Durant.
But he hasn't played this season, so
I'd love
it'd be
to
very
see him in a
difficult to go
dunk
off this
contest.
season.
I'd love to see him in a dunk contest. Maybe not anymore because he's torn his Achilles.
Yeah, I don't know what, I couldn't see...
I can't imagine him dunking.
Yeah, I couldn't see KD do like a flashy dunk. Like he could go like through the legs
but his
and
arms
back
are so
over.
long. He surely could do it.
Like I couldn't. Like I was watching, what's his name? What if I forgot his name? Vince Carter's like dunks in the dunk contest that one year, and like 360 windmill. I was like, I can't imagine KD doing that, but I can't imagine many players doing that because. I was gonna say Zach LaVine. Vince.
He could do it.
Vince
Carter.
I was gonna call him Vince Staples. Got music on my mind. Vince Carter is a different breed.
Oh, he's unreal. I mean, he can still do it now at 40.
Yeah. Another player, again, maybe not this season, but like throughout his career, Victor Oladipo. Very, very good dunker before all the injuries he's had. A decent 3-point shooter, and
Can he pass?
He's played. I swear he's played point guard sometimes for like various teams. He didn't for us, but he would run plays often. Like
I think Dame would have a good chance at winning.
And Dame's another one.
He's a little short to win a dunk contest, but like.
But he's got some hops on him.
Yeah, he can jump.
I don't know how flashy those dunks would be. Like he wouldn't get a better dunk than PG, LaVine, Oladipo, KD, or Ja. But he's the like most unlikely to win the dunk contest out of the 6 we've named. But I know he was in a dunk contest before.
Yeah, he was in the 2014 dunk contest.
As you show me that he was in a dunk contest.
Yeah, but that was 6 years ago.
Yeah.
So. And he could jump high then.
He's too busy crying to referees these days to work on his dunks.
But he could definitely win a 3-point contest. And the skills challenge, definitely he could win that as well.
Yeah, so Zach LaVine or PG for me. Well, I think Zach LaVine's going to win this week's 3-point contest, which is tomorrow.
It should be him.
Tomorrow.
Is it tomorrow?
Yeah, Saturday.
Oh, lovely.
We'll record this on a Friday. Tomorrow's the 3-point contest.
Yeah.
Ooh, can't wait for the lack of sleep this weekend.
Well, you said you think Zach LaVine's going to win. If you go back to last week's podcast...
I said Zach LaVine.
We both said Derek Jones Jr.
I said 3-point contest.
Oh, 3-pointer.
He's not even in the dunk contest.
Oh, no.
Eject boy.
I was thinking of a dunk contest and...
No, he's not in the dunk... No, we wish he was in the dunk contest.
I wish he was. Why isn't he in the dunk contest? He's in Chicago. He plays for Chicago.
He's the NBA dum-dum.
Foolish.
Bring back Zach LaVine and Aaron Gordon.
I'm not watching it now.
Yes, you will. Yes, you will.
It is on late, though. I'm not watching the Rising Star Challenge because I got Cardiff tomorrow. I gotta go watch the football game.
That's tonight, isn't it? No,
it's tonight. It starts at 2.
Yeah, I'm not watching. Nobody cares.
I watch the highlights.
Nobody watches that game. I'll watch the skills game, the 3-point, the dunk tomorrow, and I'll see how far I'll get through the All-Star game.
Depends how boring it is.
If it's really boring, I'll watch the halftime show. If it's really boring in the third quarter, I'll go to bed.
But they got a new fourth quarter, which do you want to see that? But then again, it's only 24 points.
Yeah,
so
it'd be over in a minute. Steph Curry isn't playing, don't worry.
No, Trae Young's there.
Oh, true. We got baby Steph. So moving on. Well, we usually at this point we do trade rumours, but the trade deadline's over.
Sadly.
But it doesn't mean we don't still have some trade rumours. The first one, Buddy Hield, and him being extremely annoyed with coming off the bench, showing his lack of professionalism, I say.
Yeah.
He said it was a report by The Athletic saying that if Buddy Hield remains on the bench for the entirety of the season, he could possibly request a trade. I mean,
to be fair, the Kings are actually winning games now that he's coming off the bench.
yeah, and he put up decent points when he's come off the bench. Like, just know your role. Like, Dragic, like all these, like Dennis Schroeder come to OKC, like all these players just coming in and just knowing that they're going to be bench players and like, taking it and doing the best they can with it.
If you go to the bench and you start winning, you should be mature enough to like recognise, oh wait, the team is better with me on the bench. Maybe I should be happy with this. Like Horford after the game against the Clippers, he went, I understand why he's put to the bench and I'm happy to do it.
Smart players.
Like Hield, he's coming off the bench and going up against the second unit of the other team, so he's going to get more points.
Yeah,
and he's the main man off the bench. You should
enjoy it, because if you, as a player, I'd
look at Lou Will. He gets all the shots off the bench.
Put up 35 points last night. As a player, I'd assume you'd want to show off your skills. You're probably the most happiest when you personally are playing the best. So coming off the bench, you're playing against the second team. So you're probably, if you're a starting 5 caliber player, coming off the bench, it'd be perfect. You're playing against a weaker side, so you should be able to just put up 40 points a game.
And he's the main man off the bench. He's going to get all the shots.
Maybe not 40 points.
he's going to get all the shots. He just needs to look at Lou Will and look what he's doing and say, well, maybe I could be like that.
And try and win 6th man of the year.
Well, he's one of the better shooters in the league.
Not better than Dennis Schroeder.
Way better than Dennis Schroeder. But nah, he just needs to... He's earning a lot of money. Just be happy. Like, I know money doesn't equal happiness, but like... but like, come on. Like, you're in the NBA and your team is not thriving. For their standards, they're thriving when he's on the bench. And I think they made this move in part because they want to try and keep Bogdanovic. Because obviously he's out of contract in the summer and he wants to leave because he wants to be a starter. So they have that awkward issue where only one of them can start because they can't start both of them because they're both awful defensively. So one of them has to go in the summer.
And the rumours are saying that Bogdanovic will receive an $80 million 4-year contract in the summer from somebody.
I think that it's the Kings being the Kings, where they're trying to make Bogdanovic happy. In turn, this has made Buddy Hield unhappy.
But who would you rather keep?
But now in the summer, if they lose Bogdanovic, all they're left with is an unhappy Hield.
But he would probably go back to the starting lineup.
But once you're unhappy in a place, you might want to leave.
Yeah.
So they might be screwed. And then De'Aaron Fox is left on his own.
Well, sticking with Sacramento, Harrison Barnes has vowed not to shave or cut his hair until they get to 500.
Does he want to be like Santa?
Well, he said it in December. The afro's growing, it's fair to say. He said he won't grow he won't cut until they get to 500 or the season ends. So everybody's saying this can be a long few months for Harrison Barnes with his hair. At the moment, he's
Let's have a look how many games they are off of 500. 12 games below 500.
Yeah, at the moment, he said it in December. To be fair, I assume they were closer then.
Possibly,
but yeah, it's so. Keep an eye on Harrison Barnes' trim as this goes on, because it's going to get worse and worse. Yeah. I don't think he'll stick to it. It's going to get bad. But some more trade news. For the summer, it kind of is trade news. Well, it was trade news for
the deadline.
Yeah, the deadline. The Magic were desperately trying to trade Aaron Gordon.
I feel like they tried all season long.
Nobody wanted him. Yeah,
I can't blame any teams for not wanting him.
No. And they said it's very likely that they'll leave in the summer.
Who wants him though?
Exactly, but
because I was watching him play against
probably Philly.
Somebody. No, I wasn't Philly. I was watching. How were they playing? They were playing somebody.
Well, I watched him against OKC, and he was
recently
poor.
He was awful. He was taking awful shots, and defensively he just offers nothing. So he's being paid a lot of money to do nothing. So I can't see any teams. Unless it's like the Timberwolves or the Kings wanting to trade for him.
Aaron Gordon for Kevin Love.
No, it could happen, literally.
Kevin Love would not fit in
No.
Orlando.
They need some shooting though, to be fair. Because they're one of the worst shooters I've ever seen.
Yeah, no, it could work. Just sit in the corner, switch
Yeah.
threes. You would like that, I think.
Yeah.
Living in Orlando, probably better than living in Cleveland.
Is that even a question?
I've never been to either place.
And he gets to play for a playoff team, so
And he gets to play with Mark Alphonse
lovely stuff.
and Michael Carter-Williams.
The process trusts us.
I know. Yeah, I mean, I could think of worse places to be.
Yeah.
And that does push my agenda of free Kevin Love. Free my mans. He needs to get out of Cleveland, but we have to wait for the summer now. And that's the end. And we end every show with the team of the week. I'm not going to explain team of the week because I do every week, and it's just the 5 best players who have played basketball over the past week. Our teams are pretty similar. They are most weeks because there's not usually more than 5 players playing very good. But I've gone for a couple of different picks.
Well, we've got the same guards.
Yeah.
So, do you want to start with Jamal Murray?
I almost called him Devontae.
Devontae.
That's the wrong one. And my favourite player of all time, Russell Westbrook.
Oh, you changed your tune on him.
What?
You changed your tune on Russell Westbrook. You hated him a couple of weeks ago.
No, I hated him when he left, and then I got over it pretty quickly because I realised he was bad, and then we were good, and then he was bad, and then he's been playing a lot better than James Harden, so it makes me love him again.
Well, he's looking like James Harden without a 3-point shot, putting up 39 points over the past week.
57% from the field goal, and that is something you love to see. That's 2K stats.
Literally,
That
2K.
that is like stuff I'd do on 2K with Russ, but instead of shooting 33% from 3-point, I'm like shooting like 45. But I'm very happy. Harden's a fraud. Russ is the leader.
Jamal Murray, 31 points per game, 46% from 3. Where's this come from?
I mean,
He's just been such an
Great
average
player.
player his whole career.
I'm a big fan of the Murray boys.
He's had a good week. Both of them. The
Yeah,
Spurs
both
one
of
as well.
them. I'm a big fan of both of them. And I think Jamal Murray is one of the players I had tipped for most improved player this season.
I think it was. Let's have a look.
It was. It didn't have to look. It was.
It was.
It was. He was my man. So it shows you I've been a fan. I'm not just saying it now because he's in my team of the week. But a thing about Russ that we forgot to mention, Houston apparently traded Clint Capella to maximise Russell Westbrook.
Well, Houston.
So he can average 20 rebounds a game.
you know what Houston loves the analytics, right?
They do love the analytics. I've seen the Game of Zones episode.
They can't afford to have 2 non-shooters on the floor at any given time. So obviously Russ no longer shooting. They had to get rid of Capella. So fair enough. They must be all in on this old man. His athleticism is going to go soon. Don't give me that look. You know it's true.
I'm just glad he's not going to leave when he's playing for us. We had the best Russell Westbrook.
Yeah. Well, you never had 39 points per game, Russell Westbrook.
I assume at some point in his career, in a week, he averaged 39 points per game for us. He had some big weeks for us. Yeah. It's pretty impossible to find, but yeah. So moving on to our next player. You want to go first?
Yeah, Jason Tatum. He was the person I chose for most improved player, and he's put up 28 points, 8 rebounds, shooting very well. He's looking so good, and it's so like sad that we traded him for Mark Alphonse. I don't want to talk about it really.
I think this season we've seen a more professional Jason Tatum.
And he said last season he was just miserable being around Kyrie, and with Kyrie
As many
going,
people are.
Yeah, with Kyrie going, it allowed him to open up his game, and he's flourishing.
Playing very well at the power forward spot for Celtics. A nice position change. I went for the 3-point contest winner, Zach LaVine. I mean, they haven't won this week, but
he's put up big points.
He's put up 28 points on 56% field goal and 51% from 3-point. I mean, if that's some form to go into a 3-point contest with, that is the form you want. I mean, I'm choosing a dunk contest, but
I just wish LaVine had a good coach, because their coach is an idiot. Like, he could be down by 25 against the Raptors with, I think, like 30 seconds left, and he called a timeout to draw a play. What play are you going to draw that's going to get you 25 points? Against Philly with 1 minute left, down by 9. No, it's like 30 seconds left, down by 9. And he called another timeout. Why? Like, Zach needs a good coach. Not this Jim Boylan, egghead looking ass.
Hire Van Gundy.
What's your obsession?
I don't know what
Van Gundy.
Today I've been thinking about I've had Van Gundy on the mind today, and I don't know why. Moving on. So, I'll go first.
Yeah.
And a player that's had a strange good week. I mean, he only really had one really good scoring week and then just a couple of average ones. But TJ Warren, 25 points on the week and shooting 75%.
But what's he shooting from 3?
That doesn't matter.
20%?
That doesn't matter.
Like, did he only miss 3-point shots?
I think so, but it doesn't matter. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Nice Kobe quote. Was that a Kobe quote?
Probably.
Probably.
We definitely said it. If he didn't say it, he was implying it in his game. But TJ Warren, 75% from
Fair
field
play.
goal. I think he put up 31.
I know the Pacers aren't winning though.
Yeah, no. But he put up 31 points in one of the games, and I thought he deserved it just for that percentage alone.
Yeah. No.
I don't care if he shot like twice, and no, that'd be 50%. Ignore me.
1 of 5 for me.
Yeah.
But my other forward, again, I'm cheating again with Ben Simmons. But Ben Simmons is my choice. He's going through a stretch like he's never been through in his career. It's insane. Like watching him, I feel so proud. Like we're watching him grow in front of our eyes. Where he's playing aggressive every single game.
He's not going to get much taller than 6'10".
But he's been so aggressive in like finding his own shot. He's averaging 22 points per game, rebounds of 9 rebounds per game, 10 assists, 3 steals, and then look at the free throw line, where coming for the first half of the season, Philly fans were saying he's the same player. He hasn't improved at all like throughout his career. Now in the past, I think stretching back to about 3 or 4 weeks now, he's shooting over 70% from the free throw line, and because he's shooting so well, he's feeling much more confident, so he's being more aggressive to get to the line, which you just love to see. Aggressive Ben is the best Ben. Not to mention his defense. Unreal.
He's basically just a tall Russell Westbrook.
If we build around him, he's Giannis 2.0.
Well, looking back through the weeks of Team of the Week, you've put Ben Simmons in 5 times. 2 of those times, he's been power forward. So I don't know what you're trying to tell me. The rest of the times he was playing point guard. So that's.
He always plays point guard, but he does have a couple of minutes at power forward, so that counts in my books.
Okay then.
He plays his best at power forward as well, to be fair.
Yeah, with all the... Because he just sits under the rim and that's the only way he can
sets
score.
screens and dunks over everyone.
Okay. Well, the last player is... We got the same player, like the guards, and it's Anthony Davis.
Because there's no other choices, really.
No.
Jokic had a decent week.
He was the only centre to average a good amount of points.
Jokic almost had a triple-double. Almost averaged a triple-double, rather.
He did, but AD almost averaged 30 points.
And 11 rebounds.
A very good week for AD, as the Lakers go 4 points clear at the top of the Western Conference. That's Team of the Week. Player of the Week, I don't remember who the NBA chose. And you've just changed your selection. Who have you gone?
Well, I've gone for Ben, for obvious reasons.
You've just said all the reasons.
Yeah, I'm not... do you want me to go through again?
No, you don't have to
go
through
are you sure?
We don't want you talking about Ben for ages.
Really?
No,
okay.
no.
Just let me know if you want
to.
No,
just...
I'm more than happy to go through.
Next player.
So I chose Westbrook.
Yes!
Just because...
Everybody's favourite player.
Hell no, Ben Simmons.
Never heard of him. I went for Russell Westbrook, and the most efficient scorer over the last week, TJ Warren. Not from 3-point, just from field goal. The homies. That's it for this episode of the Post Up Podcast. Episode 26 is done. Next week we'll be talking about the All-Star game. Because we'll hope that weekend. Hopefully it's a good weekend. Hopefully Zach LaVine turns up. Hopefully crazy things happen, like Devin Booker holding that really old-fashioned camera. Thanks for listening to this episode. Follow us on Twitter at postup_podcast. I love how I remember that all the time now. Big smart. And yeah, share with all your best friends, because this is Best Friend Podcast. Bye bye. Brah.